From the Huntington Bank Studio, this is Colts 360.
Welcome to the final Colts 360 of the 2023 season. Joining me now is head coach Shane Steichen to wrap things up, look ahead to the off-season. Coach, when you met with all of the guys on Monday, had that final team meeting after the end of the season, what did you relay to all of them, and what did you want each of those guys to take away as they now go into a few weeks of time to kind of decompress?
Yeah, I think obviously it was a tough way to end the season. The thought, that they had all year to get to that point, credit to those guys. And really, it's a tough time. And I just told them, tough times don't last, but tough people do. And we're going to learn from this. And I have no doubt in my mind that we're going to come back even better and stronger next year.
You also made sure to take the time to meet with the players individually. Why was that such a priority for you to do? And also, how much did you benefit from having that time one-on-one?
It was huge, to get their perspective on the season, each individual, things that they need to improve on, things that they did well, and how they're going to attack the off-season and get better. And it was just great for me to get their insight on how the season went.
You mentioned such a tough way to end the season. With the NFL, it's always just so abrupt, right? You're right in the thick of it. You're looking forward, you're planning ahead, and then it just all comes to a close. What is the process that you take at the end of any season before you kind of start turning the page and looking to build for the next?
I'll take some time, take a week off and kind of, reset my batteries and then attack it again and go into the self-scout process and getting ready for the draft and the off-season program. Knowing that, we got to rebuild this thing again. It all starts again, learn from what we did this year and make sure it's better next year.
I'm sure in a lot of those individual meetings that each player communicated goals that he has in the offseason. You mentioned the self-scout. This is your first year as a head coach. Where did you see the most growth within yourself, and where do you look at, okay, this is where I really want to focus some energy and some attention going into the offseason to build moving forward?
Yeah, that's a great question. Obviously learned a lot. There's a lot of situations that come across your desk that you got to deal with as a head football coach. But, I've said this a whole bunch of times, but the support, that we had in this organization from top down, Mr. Ursi, Carly, everybody, Ballard, tremendous support there. But, I'll look at things that, that I need to improve on. Obviously, I'll go over that in the next couple of weeks and grow from that and get better and make sure we're on top of it moving forward.
It's impossible to touch on all of the individual performances, those individual players, and what they committed and what they did over the course of this season. But a few guys that I want to talk about, Michael Pittman Jr., looking at what he did this offseason, or over the course of the season, rather, with his play on the field, how much did he help embody and impress upon how you want this offense to be and the identity of what you want this team to be?
Yeah, he attacked every single day he was in this building, and it showed up on every Sunday when we needed a play. We could count on him to make a play, and just the toughness that he brought to that receiver room. I mean, shoot, when he got the ball in his hands, he was like a running back, and he was powerful, he was strong. And, just very thankful for the season that he had for this football team.
Hey, fitting that his dad was a Super Bowl winning running back. So speaking of running backs, Jonathan Taylor obviously started the season on IR, battled injuries over the course of the season. Even the regular season finale left, fought to come back in. Through what you have been able to see from him, combined with now having an entire offseason with Anthony Richardson, what excites you most for your offense with having that duo to build on?
I think it's the ability to create the explosive plays. With him in the backfield, and Anthony, getting healthy. I think Anthony was leading the league in explosive plays, before he went down. So to have that home run threat from both of those guys in the backfield moving forward is going to be huge for us, and the chemistry that, those two are going to build throughout spring and training camp is going to be monumental for us next season.
Flip side, looking at the defense, so many milestones, in particular the single season sack record that they accomplished. Of course, Dyer Franklin, another single season tackles record. DeForest Buckner, now 6 seasons of at least 7 sacks. The emergence of E.J. Speed, the consistency of Kenny Moore. When you walked in and you established your pillars, the standard of this team, how has that group in particular embodied that?
And I think they showed it on the field. The way they played with the grit and the toughness and the way they worked every single day was huge. And it's a credit to those guys, a credit to the coaches, getting them ready to go. But just so thankful to have those guys on this football team.
There's always so much that you will miss when the season concludes, the camaraderie of the locker room, the process of each week, the practice field, of course, game days. How much are you going to miss doing this show each and every week, too?
Too much. I love this show. Colts 360 is where it's at.
That's exactly right. And as we wrap up, of course, this 2023 season, here is a look back at the last 12 months of Indianapolis Colts football and all the excitement to look forward to in 2024. Coach, appreciate the time.
Thank you.
The Colts lose another heartbreaker. They lose another game here at Lucas Oil Stadium to wrap up the season.
Obviously, like, the season didn't go the way we wanted it, but find the lessons in it, just grow from it as a, obviously as a man, as a player.
The Indianapolis Colts still do not have a head coach, but things are going to be coming in a matter of days.
The Colts have found their man, Shane Steichen.
So if you're a Colts fan, you have to be excited about him, but now you're intrigued to see who is going to join him.
The Indianapolis Colts select Richardson.
We in the city, man.
I know the 3 wins looks bad.
Big mistakes, expectations are low, and that's the fun part about this.
Nobody believe in us right now, baby. Everybody wrote us off already, baby. They gonna come talk about them. They gonna leave talking about us.
He's the greatest physical specimen to ever play this position.
Ever.
That's a fact.
Ever.
The first career touchdown for Anthony Richardson. It's DeForest Buckner. Touchdown! Touchdown for the defense. Richardson going to take off on a quarterback draw. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. Untouched into the end zone. Touchdown! RPO backs to throw. Going to take a shot downfield from Michael Pittman Jr. And he's got the ball. And his helmet came out. Kick is on its way. It's up and it is good!
Jonathan Taylor and the Colts reportedly agreeing to a 3-year extension.
Do you have a name at the top of your head for most surprising team in the NFL this year? To me, the Colts are at the top of my list.
Big run for the Colts. Touchdown! Zach Moss! And Anthony Richardson is down on the field.
Anthony Richardson officially out for the remainder of his rookie season.
He knows Steichen's offense very, very well. And why not Minshew Mania?
Josh Downs has quietly emerged as a go-to guy in Indianapolis.
A pick 6 by Kenny Moore. 2 of them today. I-N-D-Y. Welcome to Frankfurt, Germany. Josh Downs! Are you kidding me?
Worldwide wins. WWW.
Minshew, here's the deep shot, looking for Pierce. He's got it! Pierce at the 5!
And the end zone throws Michael Pittman! Touchdown! Michael Pittman!
Zaire Franklin leads the NFL in tackles. Zaire Franklin, my goodness.
It's a touchdown, and it's DJ Montgomery.
We're not even supposed to be here. We're not supposed to be here, so it's like, you know what? Why not add to it? Why not really kick the door in? Don't just check and see if the knob, so if you can turn it, right? Or open that sucker, man. Open it and see who in there. Hey, we in here.
I talked to a few different doctors, talked to our trainers, talked to my family, and they thought that, the best thing for me to do this year is, just clean it up and get ready for next year.
Coming up, one-on-one with AR. The Colts rookie quarterback discusses the progress he's making and his expectations for a return with the offense. That's next on Colts 360.
Forte Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is proud to be the team physicians of the Indianapolis Colts. At Forte, fellowship-trained physicians and staff provide comprehensive, specialized sports medicine and orthopedic care to active patients of all ages. To learn more, visit forteortho.com. This message is brought to you by Meijer, the official super center of the Indianapolis Colts and proud sponsors of hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest.
As Monday's team meeting served as the final gathering for this group of Colts, it also brought the inevitable event at the conclusion of every NFL season, Locker Room Cleanout Day. So we talked with guys across the locker room about the finality of this season, their optimism for the future, and the foundation that's been built under head coach Shane Steichen.
Just seeing what we were capable of, it inspires you, it gives you motivation, and just to know that, what could be, but at the same time, you got to look at yourself in the mirror and understand that,
you are what you put on tape, and we got to grow from that. So,
Kenny, the season ends so abruptly each and every year, but I mean, how difficult is this one sitting with you now, 2 days later, allowing that one to process?
I think we're still trying to process what's going on. Honestly, just having a chance to win the AFC South and then have another game at Lucas Oil would have been great. So, crazy way to end the season.
I feel like it's always harder when you on that cusp of, what you think in the season could, be and turn into. I feel like it definitely hit harder this year, just because the team that we have, all the adversity that we faced and all the naysayers early in the year, to come back and to play really well throughout the entire year. Maybe not perfect at times, but to still control your own destiny and then kind of end the way it did.
You got to give out to the Texans. You know what I'm saying? They handled their business, the tail end of the season, and they were able to be, they became the AFC South champs.
But I am proud of this team, the way that we did continue to fight to the end. Ultimately, we didn't get the end goal that we wanted, but I am proud of the way that we did fought this year. A lot of people wrote us off, and we're going to come back even better next year.
It was an exciting year in general, probably more success than people imagined us having. I think it speaks volumes of this team, like how everyone came together. Obviously, like we had some adversity, people getting hurt. Obviously, I was one of those people too, and, people stepped up, made a good run. Obviously disappointing how it ended, but, I feel like this was a great year for us to really build off of, and I think we're going to continue to build off it. We have a strong foundation in place, and there's a lot to look forward to.
The great thing was after the game, I didn't see a lot of guys having their heads down. So from that standpoint, you could just see the fight and the belief these guys have. Next year, this team be able to do a lot of great things.
It was nice playing for Coach Shane, real players coach. Came in here, set the tone early, and he took a team that went 4-12 last year and took us 9-8. We should have won that game. So
I just feel like he just gave me that trust, and he basically gave me the keys to run this offense, and that's something that I appreciate, something that I always look forward to, and I don't take that lightly. So
first year head coach, came in here. I think he changed the energy of this place. I think everybody was really excited when Shane came in. And I think the other thing that he really preaches on is togetherness. And I think, man, this team, offense, defense, special teams, everybody felt that, from how it is in the locker room to how we practice to the games. It's really cool to be a part of a team that's so close, and I think that won us games this year.
No matter the situation that we were faced with this year, with guys being out, we need to get back to what the Indianapolis Colts do and what our identity is. And I think we wanted to do that for ourselves, because we all know we didn't play our best last year. So we wanted to just prove to ourselves, hey, let's put the work in this offseason and let's make sure we come back, talking about this past season, let's come back and just show, hey, this is who we are.
And speaking of looking ahead, here's a look at the opponents the Colts will face in the 2024 season. In addition to the AFC South slate, the schedule includes the AFC East and the NFC North, highlighted by a trip to Lambeau Field. Among the road games, the Colts will also make 2 visits to the Meadowlands to face the Giants and the Jets. Meanwhile, Lucas Oil Stadium will play host to the Dolphins, Bills, Steelers, Lions, and Bears, as well as those 3 divisional games.
I didn't want to get it at first. I wanted to play, but the doctors told me that I wasn't going to be able to, throw if I did try to go out there and just rehab and play within it. So, I was thinking about the future and all the Super Bowls we want to win. So, that was just an easy decision for me.
Still ahead, Anthony Richardson sits down for his first conversation since season-ending shoulder surgery. How the rookie used the last 3 months to fuel his motivation, and what he's most looking forward to when he reunites with Shane's offense. That's coming up on Colts 360.
This season, Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is teaming up with the Colts to shine a light on outstanding small businesses. Indy's our hometown, and boosting local business is just one way we want to thank this great city. Go to Colts.com/Anthem Spotlight to nominate your favorite small business today. Anthem and the Colts, helping Hoosier small businesses score. It's time for the Forum Credit Union Question of the Week. The Colts set a franchise record this season for sacks. How many total sacks did they have? 51, split among 15 players, including career highs from Samson Ebicom, Kwity Paye, and Dio Adengbo. Visit the Forum Credit Union Fan Forum section of Colts.com to interact with other fans online. Forum Credit Union, helping members live their financial dreams.
As the Colts begin the offseason with great optimism, much of that is surrounding quarterback Anthony Richardson. With his promising rookie season cut short due to injury, Anthony sat down with us for the first time since undergoing that shoulder surgery in late October to discuss the progress he's making, what he's learned, and the vision for the offense with Shane Steichen. Anthony, first time getting to sit down with you since the end of the season, since your injury. How close are you progressing to where you hoped you'd be coming off that surgery in late October?
Honestly, it's been great. The whole rehab process, shout out to everybody that's been helping me. The whole process has been great, and I'm excited to start throwing again soon.
Know that you saw it, a number of opinions, had a lot of evaluations regarding the injury. What were the conversations that ultimately led you to the decision to have season-ending surgery?
The main thing was just thinking about the future. Of course, I wanted to finish out the season. I wanted to play strong with my teammates, but, looking long term, that probably wasn't one of the best things, best decisions to make at the time. So, I talked to a few different doctors, talked to our trainers, talked to my family, and they thought that, the best thing for me to do this year is just clean it up and get ready for next year.
So how significant was your long-term health and your longevity in that decision?
Definitely a major part, major component when it comes to that. I didn't want to get it at first, I wanted to play, but the doctors told me that I wasn't going to be able to, throw if I did try to go out there and just rehab and play within it. So, I was thinking about the future and all the Super Bowls we want to win, so, that was just an easy decision for me.
Being the competitor that you are, though, how difficult was it to grasp that such an exciting, promising rookie season was cut short?
It honestly hurt me, not even the fact that, I couldn't really play anymore, but I couldn't be out there with my teammates and help them. This year was the first year I ever sat out and missed games, and it was a little different for me. I had to, change the way I viewed the game, change the way I viewed different people around me. But I opened my eyes to something bigger and better, getting my mind stronger and getting mentally right for next season. And that's what I was focused on the whole time.
In the games that you did play, what you were able to put on display, thinking about back-to-back touchdowns at Houston, engineering the comeback to force the overtime against LA, how does that reinforce your confidence in what you're capable of when you're healthy?
It just boosts it up a little bit more. It lets me know that I can compete in this league. I can have fun out there with my brothers and my teammates. And I just got to keep going and just keep growing and keep getting better. Despite the good things I did do this year, there are some things I can clean up and, correct for next season.
Your athleticism is certainly part of what makes you such a dynamic quarterback. From what you learned playing and watching this season, how do you lean into and hone that athleticism while also learning to protect yourself?
Honestly, I'm not sure. Being physically gifted the way I am, I'm blessed and I'm excited, and I'm glad that I can, be the quarterback I am. But it's still a learning curve for me, adjusting to the speed of the game, the strength of the other players, and just understanding my body and how to get down and, playing safe without, playing scared, So I'm still adjusting to that, Hopefully I can, showcase a lot more of my athletic ability next year and, play the whole season.
In the time that you were watching Shane, Gardner, how they operated in meetings, in practices, on game days, what did you learn from that, having that vantage point, having that experience?
I learned a lot, honestly. It taught me how to be a pro, how to get ready for games, and how to use your brain. Everybody knows I'm an athletic freak, some people would say, but the game is just way bigger than just being able to run fast and throwing the ball far. So just watching them and how they pick certain things apart and game plan for certain games and attack the offense, it just makes me happy, and I just look forward to certain things we can do in the offense.
back at the beginning of the season, week 2 down in Houston, saw you had a chance to catch up with CJ Stroud. It was evident how much respect that you guys have for one another. From what you guys went through, going through the draft process together, the rookie season, obviously now being in the same division, what does he bring out in you as a competitor?
Honestly, he makes me want to go harder. Shout out to him for, doing the things he's doing for his team, but we can't let that slide anymore. He's in the division, that's my guy, but, we're going to have a lot of battles, these upcoming years, but can't let him get any more W's against us. So, but shout out to my guy, though, for sure.
Speaking of battles, your own battles that you've faced this season, overcoming the adversity that you have, going through the adversity that you have, how much motivation do you draw upon that, with also looking at the foundation you have and the support you have around you and the growth that you see in this team?
I just look at what we have, I look at everything that's around me, everything that's around the team, everything that's in the building. And I just see greatness, I appreciate everything that's going on, The injury as well, it's opened my eyes and let me learn about football a lot more. And just seeing the guys and how they attack it and just imagining what I would be doing out there with them, it just opened my eyes for something different. And, I'm motivated to, be the best version of myself, ever. That's my goal every year, but now seeing what we can do as a team, it just makes me feel even better.
Really appreciate the time. Thanks for sitting down with us. Excited to see you back out there with the guys.
Yes, man. Thank you.
That's a wrap for this season of Colts 360. We look forward to seeing you in September as we begin the 2024 regular season. In the meantime, stay up to date on all the latest Colts news with the Colts app, Colts.com, all of the Colts social platforms, and keep in mind the official Colts podcast continues all throughout the offseason. You can download that anywhere podcasts are available. Here is a preview of the latest official Colts podcast.
What's most disappointing is that we're just chomping. I mean, I can only speak for myself, but you're just chomping at the bit for more football from this team. And to Lara's point, you're going to have to wait a long time, 9 months thereabouts, before we get back on the field and start to see games that count in the ledger in the regular season. So a lot to deal with today. We're talking about the disappointment of that loss to the Houston Texans. We're putting the season into perspective. Lara already did a really good job of that to kick things off. Mm-hmm. And we're also discussing where the Colts can build, how they can build upon this past season going into 2024.